Chapter 297, Zhuo Qingqing's Premeditation 1. Zhu Tun and the others had gained a lot on the first day of the mission. Although they had not found any of the 3 mutated plants in Gongling's mission, they found a precious item worth as much as 1.5 million. This was only calculated according to the price sold to the officials. If he handed a portion of it to Qingqing to deal with in the underground market, the price of some of the items, such as the snake venom, would be 20% to 30% higher. The green patterned snake was not difficult to deal with. The difficulty was finding them in the dangerous wilderness. That was only slightly easier than finding a needle in a haystack. Apart from that, Gongling also found a stalk of silkworm grass and seeds that were very helpful for her cultivation. This silkworm grass was one of the mutated plants that had been discovered in recent years. It grew extremely quickly and could grow from a seed to a cocoon overnight. The grass was very thin, but it was extremely tough. Ordinary swords could not cut through it. Once it was gathered, its toughness would increase exponentially. To a plant-type superb individual, the silkworm grass ability was a very valuable ability. It could defend, support, or even attack. If she used a certain number of silkworm grass seeds, she could even control the situation. It was also because of this that the silkworm grass and seeds were very popular. Even the Wuxia Genetic Evolution College did not provide such cultivation resources. The reason was simple. The evolution of this silkworm grass was not stable. The original was silk grass. There were a large number of silk grass in the wilderness. Sometimes only a few of them mutated into silkworm grass. Moreover, even if they used the seeds of the silkworm grass to cultivate, more than 90% of the silk grass that they cultivated would show atavism and lose its mutated ability. Therefore, it was exceptionally precious. Gongling was overjoyed. The harvest of the silkworm grass was completely unexpected. Zhu Tui had not expected the silkworm grass to be so important to Gongling. However, the bionic mechanical insects controlled by a Huang discovered a few stalks of silkworm grass. According to the information that a Huang had gathered, a stalk of silkworm grass could be exchanged for 10,000 yuans in the Genetic Research Institute, and a seed could be exchanged for 1,000 yuans. However, there were dozens of seeds in the silkworm grass. That made it valuable. Zhu Tui was there for the money. He did not expect that it was exactly what Gongling needed. After recording the number, it went to Gongling first. Of course, it could not be free. The most taboo thing about clearing missions in the wilderness was not distributing the gains clearly. After the mission ended, he would have to calculate and distribute them one by one. Because of this, Zhu Tui's prestige as a new captain had reached an unprecedented height in this small team. At night, they camped in the temporary camp that they had chosen previously. Gongling and Zhuo Qingqing shared a 2-person tent while Zhu Tun and Cheng Mo each shared a single tent. Someone had to be on night duty when camping in the wilderness. Everyone had to keep watch for 2 hours, which was exactly from PM to AM. Zhu Tui did not stop Gongling and Zhuo Qingqing from being on night duty just because they were girls. On the contrary, they had to be on night duty. Sleep was very important to everyone. It was the most important method to recover physical and mind power. At this moment, it was extremely stupid to take care of the girls and not let them be on night duty, which resulted in the loss of recovery for his own stamina. The first person on duty was Cheng Mo. Zhu Tui was the last person on duty. When it was almost dawn, it was the most difficult time for many people on night duty. Zhu Tui watched as Cheng Mo lit a fire to keep himself warm and sprayed insect repellent around him. Then, he went into his tent. His mind power moved slightly, and his blurry mental perception silently spread out. It extended all the way to 42 meters away and extended out of the temporary campsite. In the past 20 days, Zhu Tui had been cultivating the 3rd level of the Mind Concentration Foundation Forging technique. Although there were only 12 genetic base points in the 3rd level, the difficulty of activating it had greatly increased. Zhu Tui could consume 2 bottles of Level D Energy Restoration Elixirs and 3 bottles of Level E Energy Restoration Elixirs in a single cultivation cycle. 60% of the cultivation power was given to the 3rd level of genetic base points. Basically, it would take 3 days to activate one. So far, he had only activated the 7th genetic base point of the 3rd level. Because of this, his mind power had increased by a certain extent, and the distance of his mental perception had increased again. The radius of his precise mental perception reached 21 meters, and the radius of his blurry mental perception reached 42 meters. There was no danger within 42 meters of the camp. Zhu Tui was still worried. He asked softly, Huang, did the security post notice anything unusual? No. The bionic mechanical creatures controlled by Huang had its control. Every one of them was intelligent. Other than gathering intelligence, their greatest use was to keep watch and give early warnings. At night, Huang released at least 8 types of night insects. The area within a 5-kilometer radius was under its surveillance. There were also 2 mechanical hummingbirds patrolling within a 50-kilometer radius to monitor the surrounding environment. The image would be analyzed in real time by Huang, a high-level artificial intelligence. He would immediately inform Zhu Tui if he discovered any danger. Now, Zhu Tui somewhat understood why in Zhaoxaxui had often gone out on clearing missions alone. With Huang's help, it was very easy to clear the monsters. Of course, if the other students had a certain amount of wealth, they could also purchase these smart machines as support.